Well, folks, welcome back to the Relaxing Wood Shop. My name's Christopher.
Bonjour, je m'appelle David.
You do?
French cleats.
Ah.
We're going to do French cleats this week, so yeah. So, folks, yes, I wanted Christopher to start it because if I started off as bonjour, people would go, "Oh, this is a French channel," and turn us off.
Got the sentence in wrong.
So, yes, folks, this week we, as promised, we are going to get stuck in to organising this, and we've decided to go down the French cleat route. Now, we have a selection of wood. Normally Christopher would do a wee introduction as to what we're going to use. You know what we're going to use. We're going to use a bit of batten, and we're actually going to steal next door neighbour's fence and get a load of his boards, and then we'll put it together. Now, I do like this wee bit because this is kind of where I started out before I did the show, to have this all neat and tidy. So I'm going to keep the bottom bit the way it is, okay? And then from there up, then we'll do the full French cleats. And if I have a wee bit more wood, I would be intending to do it on the end of the pillar as well there. Yeah?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
So the first thing we want to do is get all of this off. Now, even though I'm keeping this, I am going to have to remove this to get at the screws and that hold this into the wall. So all this is going to come out. We're going to get this all on. Now, before we get into it, I just want to thank everybody. That video, what happened to that video?
Yeah, I got a lot of views in the last video, so everyone must have been told about it.
Yeah, I mean, normally we would get maybe 50 to 60 first week views, and then as the months go on, it increases. Yeah. We got 170 views in a working week, which is something we've never done. So, thank you so much. Keep them coming.
Yeah, keep the subscribers coming in, the likes and all. Just get the channel off the ground, and well, it's off the ground already, but just keep it going. But also a little reminder, my dad's very bad at humour, so we didn't actually steal the neighbour's fence post in case we get any complaints or comments asking our address and stuff.
That's right. Let's get going, guys. Right guys, so as you can see, we now have it completely stripped bare. What I was originally going to do was then drill a load of holes into the wall and then put the supporting beams behind it in. But we've actually decided, Christopher has come up with an ingenious idea. So rather than drilling a load more holes into the wall and then putting in your
sockets, walls.
What are they called? Raw plugs. And then the screws, we're going to try and use the existing screw holes. So Christopher, how are you going to do it?
So how are we going to measure up and line up the holes on our battens? We're going to use the
existing bracket.
Okay. The brackets. We're going to use the holes from the brackets and line up where we're going to the initial hole, and then we're going to just basically do wee marks through the wee holes in the bracket here and be able to drill the holes through.
Ah, perfect. So what we need to do then is we'll need to cut 3 of these in to match these 3, and we've done a wee tape measure there roughly. And it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, this is being hidden, but we're running on 80 centimetres there. So we'll have this is 2,400, so...
2,400 millimetres.
Yes.
So 240.
So it's 3 cuts?
3 cuts.
3 cuts, perfect. So it is. So, let's get the wood cut. Now guys, excuse a wee bit of the shadows now because we're having to switch around lights and all because we're going to cut this. So, Christopher's giving me my measurements and all what to do, so I need to do 80 in this. Now, as I don't have my trusty vise, I have to do this without being able to clamp it in. So what we'll do is, we'll get this cut here. Now, I've just come in with an idea. Stay there, don't go anywhere. The moment I said clamp, I thought, well, if I can't use a vise, I can use a clamp. And then I will use the Japanese pull saw. Love these. Square off my wee mark because we want to make sure these are very accurate because we want to get exactly 80. 80, isn't that right, Christopher?
80, yeah.
80 each. So we'll do. So, pull saw. You grab your bite at the back end. keep your finger up here and a nice firm grip is how I use it. Everybody uses them differently, and I'm sure that the Japanese have mastered these and will use them a lot better than I will. But you'll instantly see that was perfect to the mark of the pencil all the way through. Now, people look at the wood and then go, oh, it's going to take forever to cut because you'd be better using machines. With these saws, even a piece of wood like this takes no time at all. Let the saw do the work, pull back, it's a pull saw. Let the bang go because Chris didn't catch in time because he didn't expect it would come off. So we'll do 2 more of them.
It was far too quick for me to catch. You should see how long it took him to get his legs crossed.
Clear off, that's not true. That's nasty. Right, okay guys. So, we came into a wee issue, and this is what it's all about when you're woodworking and trying to come up with ideas, solutions. Remember, we're trying to do this for under 50 quid with everything done, so we're always trying to keep an eye on what we can do. But our problem was, when we cut, what we're going to do is we're going to put roof boards that I'm going to steal out of our roof space. So what happens is, when these are longer than the length of a roof board between these 2 boards, and when we cut off the board, we're left with about a 1.5 to 2 foot gap. If we put our beams in the middle, we will not have any support at all for the outer edges. So what we'll have to do is stick with Christopher's plan for the middle one, but on the outer 2, we're actually going to have to drill a couple of holes into the wall. So for Gemma, who was asking what is the exact measurements with regards to your raw plugs and that, easiest way I do it might not be always the best way. Your raw plug, okay, if you get a drill bit, masonry of course, and if you put it up to the bit, it should just and no more fit into the cap part. And what that allows you to do then is to drill the hole, hammer this in, and then that just leaves the wee cap part perfectly flush. Now, or just out, sorry. If you want the cap perfectly flush, so if you're potentially maybe wallpapering over this area as such, you do the exact same thing, but with the drill bit at the very end, you do a wee tiny wiggle, and that will wiggle out the outer edge, so that will then push it perfectly flush. So it will. We don't need to do that because this is all going to be hid. So let's get drilling in the concrete. So guys, that's side 1 done. I'm going to show you a whole step on side 2. Alright, so we'll move over. So here's your board. What are you going to say, Christopher?
That's going to make some creaky noises whenever your joints were moving.
They are 3 railway sleepers.
I'm talking about your knees.
Oh, you're so nasty. So, get the drill, put a wee mark into the wood on one side. Actually, let's just drill all the way through. Turn it over so you don't drill into your desk. And again. Okay, now transfer the board to the wall, like so. Move over to the wall. Use your drill bit. Now be careful, remember this is a wood drill bit, so you don't want to wreck it into the wall, but bring it in. Back out again. And again at the top. Bring it in. Back out again. And that has now give you your 2 marks, so you can then get this drill. You know. Two. Then you get your wee rod plugs. Give it a wee. Hammer. Tap them in. Flush. Flush. Then we get our board. screw. One. And now, when I normally show off and throw in the second one, you heard it actually dropped on the ground. Back up again. See, still fit as a fiddle. And look at that. Well, folks, that is all we have time for this week. Now, we're not going to leave it fortnightly. Sure, we're not?
No, not for this.
Because we're doing something like this as a project, we will take it up again next week. So we will. So please take care of yourselves.
Yep, take care, guys. And remember, just keep getting the wee likes and subscribes in. Every little helps.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, can't say who. Come say it? No.
No, thanks.
Guys, be safe. Take care. See you next week.
Bye-bye.